I think all around us our friends are doing things, and what they do is similar to what we do, maybe even identical to what we do. And we make presumptions about why they do it. And there's no reason to assume, that they're doing it for the same reason. In other words, you and I sitting here, neither of us being nuts, neither of us exhibiting bizarre behavior, would assume that if I was in your mind and you were in my mind, so we were switched around, we'd see things the same, we'd perceive the world the same way, and so forth. It's not really true. This is not really a philosophical question. It's a very real question.
One mystery in the life of Philip K. Dick that still hovers around is the break-in in 1971. And there are many different stories, none of which really make sense about that break-in. I first learned about it when he phoned me in a panic and said that somebody had blown his safe and made off with very precious personal items.
Maybe drugs, maybe tax records, but it's a little unknown. But apparently he came home one day and found that the safe had been blown up. And I think this is kind of crazy, but he called the cops and got the police involved in this, which is really, pretty amusing because of all the drug activity that was in the house and his paranoia of the authorities and all the stuff that, I think it's a real sign of a little bit of a split personality that he would bring the police into this issue.
Phil, in talking to me, and as quoted in my book, says the police thought maybe he did it himself. And Phil was charmed by that idea. It made for good telling. And then, being Philip K. Dick, he could ask himself, well, is it possible I did it myself and I forgot? Let's see, what would my motivation have been? And so forth and so on. As a novelist, he could take off from anywhere and go somewhere unexpected with it.
I think it's fascinating to contemplate, did he engineer his own break-in? To me, that's the most entertaining of all the options. So he concocted it himself, sort of like in a scanner darkly. You're busting yourself and you don't even realize it. But I think it is possible that there was either some sort of Marin drug-related aspect to it, or that there might have been a political motive, and it could have been part of COINTELPRO. It's a little far-fetched. He wasn't that directly involved politically with things, but the more that comes out about that era and even the 50s, the FBI just kept an eye on a lot of people, and that's a possibility.